NaNoWriMo is an activity that occurs every November. The idea is that people get together online and also in reality to complete a 50,000 word novel in 1 month, over the month of November. These two books here are self-published. I'm going to talk about them in a minute. One of them's mine, one of them is a friend of mine's. Okay, so the idea is that you aim to write a 50,000 word novel. It can't be a short story collection or something like that. It has to be fiction and so forth. And you do that in a month. I have done this in the past. I wrote a novel called 7 Stories, where there were 7 interlinked stories that joined together ultimately. So, you know, the structure there is a little bit like walking on glass. There are meetings. There's a website, NaNoWriMo.org, which I'm going to put down there. The idea is, like I say, you do 50,000 words in 30 days. Now, I actually have the opposite problem. I actually write too much. Now, there is a medical condition known as hyperlexia, where you write too much. I sometimes suspect that I suffer from that. I would actually prefer, and in fact I mention it in this book, which is, you could have thought of that, available from Lulu, that there should be a NaNoWriMo, which works in the opposite direction. The idea is that rather than writing 50,000 words in a month, you actually write 50,000 words less in a month than you did before. And there's a meeting at the end of the month where people sort of get together and compare notes, and also they meet together and they write together as well, is another thing. But if you can't get to one of those groups, there is an online forum and support and so forth, and you get a certificate at the end. Now, the other point I wanted to talk about was self-publishing. Now, this book here, A Sermon a Day, which is by my friend Robert Johnson, is a book that's self-published on Lulu. Lulu is a really good place to go to get stuff published. It's a print-on-demand service. Now, self-publishing has had a lot of stick in the past because it is considered to be a way of vanity publishing, publishing stuff that you can't get anybody to publish because it's complete rubbish. I wouldn't agree that that's how things have gone now. The problem now is that publishers are having a lot of difficulty publishing stuff because there's partly a lot of free stuff out there, and also because bookshops are not as popular as they used to be because of the rise of Amazon and other things such as the rise of ebooks. My book obviously is You Could Have Thought of That, and in fact the idea of NaNoWriMo, where you write 50,000 words less than you would do normally in a given month, is in there. A lot of other ideas, and this is also available from Lulu, and I'll put a link below to both of these books. The issue with self-publishing is, if you want to get over the barrier of not having anybody read your words apart from friends of yours, a good way of doing that is to self-publish, because then you know you've got stuff out there, you've got a physical book. That's really good. There's a sort of book fetish here, you know, it's like, wow, I've got a book, big hunk of text there, which is, you know, nice stuff. And that gets you over the sort of self-esteem issue, and also it gets strangers to read your book if you can market it properly. What you're really doing is you are replacing the problem of publication with the problem of marketing. What you have to do then is you have to push it rather than give it over to somebody else who's skilled at marketing and so forth. So you're sort of swapping one problem for another. However, if you happen to have a special interest group, and I do have a special interest group for one of my books, or in fact for both of my books in a sense, you can market it that way. You can say, this book is about what you want to do, such and such, and you can use social networking, and I'm not just talking about Facebook and that, I'm talking about just in person. For example, this book works well on that basis because obviously my friend is a Methodist minister, and therefore he can publish and get stuff out there in that way, and people will find other people that are interested in that. And my book, You Could Have Thought of That, again, appeals to a specialist market of people who are into lateral thinking and original ideas and perhaps jokey ideas and so forth. So that's basically what it comes down to. NaNoWriMo is happening this month. I suggest you get involved if you haven't already. I have a lot of other projects on the go, so I'm not going to be doing that because I've got a lot of writing going on right now. Like I'm finishing Here Be Dragons this month, looked at by other people and proofread and so forth. So I'm not going to be doing it this year, but it really is worth doing, and it really motivates you to have other people around you doing it at the same time. And the other thing is, once you've produced your book, you can stick it somewhere like Smashwords or Lulu, and then you can get it published, and you'll know that people have actually read it, preferably strangers, which is one reason why
I'm not talking about the other book, because the other book can then be read by strangers, which is a really good thing, because otherwise it's just, you know, your friends could be flattering you or whatever, or buying it out of pity. That doesn't apply to the other book. So there you go. NaNoWriMo and self-publishing via Lulu or Smashwords or other places. Cafe Press, actually. Okay, bye.